What's up, y'all? It's your boy Carlos with Learn English with Carlos Crazy. Today I'm here with Mike. Mike is an American who decided to have this video conference with me to share his experience learning Spanish because, as you know, he's a native English speaker and his experience is been wonderful. And he is going to share with us a little bit of his process and also um, a little bit of his experience being in Colombia and other Spanish-speaking country. So, Mike, how are you?
I'm good, Carlos. How are you? How are you?
Very good. Nice having you here.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. So as Carlos mentioned, and Carlos, if you want, I can introduce myself a little bit.
Sure.
Um, my name is Michael. I have a YouTube channel named Mike Ben. And about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, by accident, I was listening to music and I stumbled across a podcast that had a bunch of lessons in Spanish. And so started listening to that podcast and ended up falling in love with the Spanish language. For myself, I decided to record my monthly progress in Spanish. And so that's how my YouTube channel started. And that's how Carlos and I have connected through my channel. So I started recording my progress every month in Spanish. And I've just been enjoying the process. That's who I am. Just a guy here in the United States. I'm a teacher and I've been learning Spanish for about a year and a half now.
Okay, Mike. Well, what do you teach? I'm curious to know. What do you teach here?
I teach grade 8 and 9 math. So I teach eighth grade math, which is in my state, Georgia. It's a mix of geometry and algebra. And then I teach algebra 1 for ninth grade students.
Ninth grade student. Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, Mike. Let me ask you this question. So,
Mhm.
what do you usually do to take your Spanish to the level you have it, or what kind of strategy could you recommend people so they can do the same, but this time in English?
Mhm.
Because I'm let me be honest with you. I'm interested in knowing how to take my
All right.
English to that level your Spanish is right now,
Well, I
because it's
appreciate that.
great, believe me.
Thank you. Thank you. What I did is in the first months, in the first 6 months, I did a mix of a bunch of different things. I would listen to a podcast that basically is structured like this. There was a guy from Great Britain who would say this in the podcast.
Hmm.
In Spanish, if you want to say, how are you? You say, ¿cómo estás? Say, ¿cómo estás? So when I'm driving, I'm just listening to that. That's one strategy. So if you can find some kind of podcast, some kind of audio lessons like that, that helped. I also bought a book that had a bunch of exercises. So the first exercise is the difference between ser and estar. And then it gives you a list of exercises. Once you master that, it takes you to other irregular verbs. Go ahead.
And let me ask you this: now that you're
Uh-huh.
talking about books, and some people
Uh-huh.
find it boring to study using books,
Uh-huh.
how do you find it yourself? Like,
Uh, I
in,
agree. I agree. Some books, I do agree. Some books are boring. I will say though, the key is just to find a book that's interesting to you. I feel like if there a lot for me personally now, if there are a lot of exercises, I find the book interesting. Like if I'm actually practicing writing and things like that, I find it interesting. So I don't think there's a way to avoid that. I think that's a tried and true way of learning a language. So that's the other thing that I did. And then on top of that, there's a online application called italki, Italki, and I would go there and hire Spanish tutors. And it just turned
uh,
out that
iTalki, right?
italki, yes.
So
Hmm.
bear that in mind, guys. It's iTalki. You can go there and practice your English. I mean, oh, vice versa, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. They've got English tutors there. Really, any language, Chinese, any
Hmm.
language. But I just used the mix of those three: those audio lessons, the book exercises, and my teachers online. Um, and over the first 6 months, I was able to communicate, and then progressively, it's just gotten better over time.
Okay. I want to take it this time out to also recommend a website that is called 4,000 Essential Words. That one is
Mm.
amazing. That app you download on your phone, and you can practice every day. There's readings, passages there. You can find listening exercises. I mean, there are a bunch of things that you can do
Mhm.
on that app. I really recommend you this app. There's another one that I don't remember right now, but I would suggest you down the road.
Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect.
Okay, Mike. So
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about your experience going to Colombia for the first time. How was it? Um,
It was great. One of the things that really impresses me about Colombia is that Colombia is a super diverse country, not just ethnically, not just in terms of the language, in terms of food. It's like I literally felt like flying from one city to another. I'm going to a different country. Like the people are completely different. The language is
Right.
completely different. So that's one of the things that really interested me a lot about Colombia, and to this day still interests me a lot about Colombia. People even in the comments of my videos always say, "You like Colombia better than the other countries, right?" And it's kind of true.
It-
Like it kind
it-
of is true, honestly.
yeah.
Go
Didn't
ahead.
you experience that? Like people were thinking you're one of them. Like you were
Yeah.
locals.
Uh-huh.
You
Yep.
did?
Yeah, in Bogota, I remember I was walking through el centro de Bogota, and a lot of people were just like greeting me as if I was coming, like "Cómo está, hermano?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, like, obviously, when they heard my accent, they were like, "Where is he from?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, they did, especially with the
It,
mask because I went in 2020. So with the mask, yeah, they couldn't tell the difference.
yeah, the same here. I had this experience as well.
Hmm.
Every time walking down the street, people talk to me like if I were one of the locals because they said,
Right.
"Oh, this is a black dude, so he's from
Right.
here."
Right.
But the
Right.
moment I started speaking, they realized that not from here. Well, especially
Uh-huh.
when we go deep into conversation, they
Hmm.
realize because then they start missing out words and expressions they use
Hmm.
here. Then they said,
Hmm.
"Oh, this is not from me. It's not from
Right.
around here."
Right. So, in
Okay.
terms of my experience though in Colombia, I missed Medellin. Like, I didn't have a lot of time, but I went to Bogota and Cartagena. And so in Bogota, I liked it a lot. Bogota is just very huge. Like, it's huge, a
Yeah.
lot of traffic, a lot of people. But I liked it. I liked it. I know Bogota has a reputation of having people that aren't the nicest, but they were fine to me. Again, I'm coming from the United States where people are mean. So,
Hmm.
like, anybody that's a little nice is going to be nice to me. And then Cartagena was just completely different. I have a friend who's from Cartagena. Her family's from there. And so her uncle showed me around everybody, like all the barrios, like this, like
Hmm.
from Strato 1 to Strato 6. And so it was very impactful. Like, I went to Basurto, like I went to different places that's like Cartagena in las películas, in the movies, and Cartagena real. So it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I felt comfortable and I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this question. You were saying
Hmm.
estrato uno
Hmm.
to estrato seis.
Hmm.
Now, so people get that one right in
Hmm.
English whenever they
Hmm.
have to say something. They will have to talk about a country, a place, a
Hmm.
city, whatever
Hmm.
that has those things in your country.
Hmm.
Who you say that word like strata?
Hmm.
How do you pronounce that word in your language?
There's
Because that
not
one is
really
tricky.
Right. There's not really a direct translation, but what we say is lower class, middle class, upper class. Like a lower
There you
class
go.
neighborhood, middle class neighborhood, upper class. Hmm.
Exactly. So now, guys, you will know that you don't say strata. Strata, people will like, what? What are you
Yeah.
talking about? So it's better to learn that way, so we don't make fool out of ourselves.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So okay, what city do you like better or more when you were in Colombia?
Um, I still want to go back and explore some other cities, but of the two, it's just a tough question because to visit Cartagena because of the beaches and the weather and like the active things to do, but to live, I would say Bogota. Not like if I had to pick any city in Colombia, it would be Medellin to live, or like, yeah, probably Medellin. But just for the visiting, in terms of, I can't answer that, Carlos. It's like to live, I would pick Bogota, but then to visit again, like if I had the choice, you have one plane ticket, but you can either go to Cartagena or Bogota. I'm going to Cartagena because I like the beach and I like the water and stuff like that. But to live, I would definitely say Bogota.
Well,
Bogota.
now
Uh-huh.
another question. Now
Okay.
another
Okay.
question. So,
Okay.
when you were speaking with the locals,
Uh-huh.
I mean, in what city do you think you could understand more than the other? When you were in Cartagena, Bogota?
No, in Bogota, I could understand much better because at the time, unfortunately, and I think this is a bad thing, all of my Spanish teachers were telling me, don't listen to Spanish del Caribe. Don't listen to Spanish in reggaeton. Don't listen to that because they don't say the S's. They don't speak clearly.
Hmm.
That, I guess, that to them sounded good, but then when I went to Cartagena and somebody said, "Pa que me ayuda, oíste," ¿Para qué me ayuda? I did not understand that.
Yeah,
I did
of
not
course.
understand that. Now I understand because I understand it. ¿Para qué me puedes ayudar? ¿Para qué me ayude? Like, right? But at the time, I didn't understand that. And so that was difficult at first. That was different. I remember, oíste. I was like, what does that mean? What are they saying? Like, oíste.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? What is that? But yeah.
But based on that, what I take from that is that it is very important, guys, to go and leave, the language.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is that it's better you to go and experience those things. It's the same thing here. For example, people say, ain't it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
isn't
Mm-hmm.
it? And
Mm-hmm.
when I first heard people saying that, I was totally lost. Like, what are
Mm-hmm.
they saying? But
Mm-hmm.
then with the time, now I understand. People say, left and right. They all the time
Mm-hmm.
using that. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be immersed in the language, so you get that one right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm glad you feel way more confident now and
Mm-hmm.
able to understand when people say oíste
¿Para qué? I didn't
in
understand
Spanish.
¿para qué? None of that. Like, I
¿Para
didn't
qué?
understand ¿para qué? I didn't understand that. Like, so,
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I have another question,
Uh-huh.
and it is about your Spanish. I want to just give a demonstration of what your
Okay.
Spanish is like.
Okay.
Now we're gonna code switch. We're gonna use Spanish for, let's say, a minute, and this time we just have a random topic
Okay.
to go, and people have this kind of, because I know they're curious to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Carlos has been saying that his Spanish is good and it's great, and so we just wanna taste the water.
Okay.
Okay. Bueno, Mike, ¿tú vives en Atlanta, o estás viviendo fuera de Atlanta, las afueras?
Sí, yo vivo en las afueras de Atlanta, o sea, y lo que pasa en mi ciudad es que Atlanta solamente es como un círculo, pero en la exterior se dice Atlanta también. Entonces yo vivo en los suburbios, más o menos, en un
Okay.
suburbio, pero sí, vivo casi, me tarda, perdón, 30 a 20 minutos en tráfico para llegar al centro de Atlanta.
De
Entonces,
Atlanta.
no.
Pero ojo, algunas personas pueden pensar que un suburbio es como un sitio peligroso.
No.
O sea, algunos pueden tener esa confusión. ¿Puedes explicarles eso? ¿Puedes explicarles, por favor?
En inglés, cuando decimos suburbs, eso significa como vecindarios afuera del centro de la ciudad, donde es más un ambiente familiar, es más tranquilo, quizás más campo, pero casas, menos apartamentos. Eso significa suburbio, suburb es la palabra, suburbs en inglés, sí.
Ok, ya saben, suburb significa suburbio y no necesariamente se refiere a que es un sitio peligroso, que está a las afueras, que es pobre, no. Para que vayan pues cambiando como esa concesión para los que lo tengan así, ¿cierto? Porque es bueno aclarar.
Sí.
Y cuéntame, Mike, ¿estás casado, soltero? ¿Tienes hijos? ¿Cuáles son tus planes a futuro?
No estoy casado, no tengo hijos. Sí, tengo eso en mente, o sea, quiero eso en el futuro, pero no me ha tocado tener hijos o nada así ahora mismo, pero sí, es algo que quiero, o sea, uno de mis grandes deseos en la vida es ser un papá, entonces ser un padre, entonces, con tiempo, sí.
Con tiempo, ok.
Sí.
Hay que darle tiempo al tiempo. Sí. Mike, una última pregunta. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
Tengo 26.
26 años, tiene Mike, y inició, ojo al dato, inició a aprender español hace 1 año y medio. Y miren qué tan avanzado es su nivel de español. O sea, esto es una muestra más de que sí se puede lograr, es cuestión de disciplina, y pues tenemos algún como concepto erróneo de que los profesores de matemáticas se les dificulta aprender otro idioma y así sucesivamente. No, es cuestión de dedicarle tiempo. Pues Mike es un ejemplo. Tengo a mi hermano que es profesor de matemáticas también. Es otro ejemplo, aprendió inglés. Está mi hermano mayor también. tiene un inglés, él se comunica, mi hermano mayor
Ujú.
también habla inglés, pero él se comunica, no es tan bueno porque no le ha dedicado tanto tiempo, pero sí él se
Ujú.
puede comunicar y estoy seguro nos entiende y se hace entender. Y
Sí.
eso a la larga es lo más importante.
Sí, estoy de acuerdo con esto, contigo con eso, porque mira, yo he hecho todo esto acá en Estados Unidos. Tengo amigos que hablan español, pero nacieron acá, entonces realmente no manejan el idioma bien. Entonces hice todo esto en Estados Unidos, en mi sala, o sea, sentado en una mesa, escribiendo, escuchando, hablando así. Entonces no es imposible. Como dijiste, es dedicación, más que todo.
Dedicación.
Ujú.
Okay. So, you see, guys, Mike Spanish is amazing.
I wouldn't
It's
say
even
amazing, but thank you. Thank you.
no, yeah, it is. So Mike has, like he said before, he has his YouTube channel. You can go and check his video. Those videos are amazing. You can learn
Oh,
not
thank you.
only about cultural things, but also you can improve your English because what he does is most of the time, most of his talking are in Spanish. Sorry, in English. So that way you can pick up new expressions and you can do listening exercise with him
Mhm.
and yeah, it's wonderful. I'm already subscribed and I love this video, and so I
Uh,
want you to share one more time your YouTube channel so people can just hit the subscribe button and be part of your community now. What's the channel now name?
Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. My channel name is Mike Ben, Mikeben. And like Carlos said, I do a mix of a bunch of different things. My Spanish progress, language learning advice videos, just cultural videos, trying different foods from Latin America, traveling videos, all that kind of stuff. So I think I have a mixed audience of people from the United States, people from Europe that are learning learning Spanish, and native Spanish speakers that enjoy the content also. So I think you all might enjoy it. If you like Carlos's videos, I think you'll enjoy mine as well.
Okay, Mike, thank you so much for this, and I'll see you when I see you. Okay.
All right, all right.